What's going on, guys? Daksha here. Just wanting to go through today the installation for the Crypto PNL Tracker. Essentially built this as an all-in-one tracker you can use to track your Binance Bybit. It's got multi-account, up-to-the-minute tracking, graphs, daily return percentages, a bunch of other stuff. I hope you guys find it useful. I created it. I just wanted something a bit better than the Binance PNL, and just something that I felt if I want to use it, then others might too. So want to share it with you guys. I made it for the Wick Hunter community. Hope you enjoy it. I know a few people are having a bit of trouble getting it installed. So I want to run through the steps because it's pretty straightforward, but there are a few steps because it relies on Daisy's awesome import data. She's done a brilliant job with that, and the PNL tracker couldn't have got off the ground if it wasn't for her awesome data importing. So let's get into it, guys. Once you're on the GitHub page for the Crypto PNL Tracker, you'll see the instructions here. I'm going to go through this with you guys step by step, making sure you've got all the requirements you need to install the bot. We're going to talk about where to unzip it to, so you've got a place to run it from. We're going to go through setting up step by step Daisy's awesome Binance and Bybit data import script to get your data into the bot. We're then going to talk about account configuration and how to link that to the script, and then how to actually run your bot and keep it running so it's something accessible at any point that you want to access your P&L. So we start by obviously getting the release. So here on the far right, we've got releases for Crypto PNL Tracker. The latest is 1.3. Click on that. Click Crypto PNL Tracker v1.3. That'll start the download off. Click your arrow. Click Show in Folder when Chrome has caught up. Then you'll be right-clicking, hitting Extract All, and extract this to a location such as C Drive, Bots Tracker, assuming that's where you've got your bot set up. Remember, this doesn't need to work with the bot necessarily, but if you're using the bot to monitor profits, it makes sense probably to keep it all in the one location. Press Extract. All right, there we have it extracted here. The next step is we'll keep up with doing the downloads. So we'll go back to the tracker GitHub. We're going to go clicking back to the main screen. I'm going to follow the next step in the guide here. So we've got the actual release. We're going over to get Daisy's import script. So right click. I'm just opening this in a new tab so I can easily refer back. We're going to look for the latest release of her import script. Again, this is the script that will actually download your Binance data for the bot to use. So we can see here, there's essentially two files that we need, the account data.json and .ps1. You can download it as a zip here, but with just the two files, I'm just going to click each one here. That's going to download, keep. All right, show in folder. Here we are. All right, so we've got them here, account data and the account data JSON. You can see this one doesn't have a file extension. The zip doesn't have a file extension. My personal preference is to turn on file extensions. If you'd like to do that too, you click View, File Name Extensions, and then you've got that revealed. Just makes things a bit easier to know what's going on. Let's take both of these. And as Daisy's instructions state, we need to place these into the root folder of the tracker. So we're going to go back to our tracker. I've copied the files in my clipboard and I'm just going to paste them in there. So now we've got account data.json, account data PS1. PS1 is the PowerShell script. That is the actual program that is going to import your data, and the JSON file is where you will configure your accounts. All right. Now we're going to do the other requirement, which is installing the .NET hosting bundle. So we're going to go back to the main screen, back to the Crypto PNL Tracker GitHub. We're going to install this guy here. So this is the ASP.NET Core 5.0 hosting bundle. Because the program was written, the tracker was written in Microsoft.NET, we have a dependency here to install. And this just runs on any Windows server. This will actually, there's an install for Linux as well. I might be looking down the track at making the PNL tracker compatible with Linux. But for now, it's Windows only. Let that install. And you're going to press that .NET hosting bundle. Your server may have this. If it does, have it, it's going to tell you, hey, I've already got this, don't continue. Or if you know you have it, obviously don't install it. If you have any errors, maybe come back. You might have had a different version. Make sure it's at least version 5.0. That's going to do its thing. All right, so that is the requirements installed. So now what we need to look at doing is configuring the accounts for in the sample I'm going to run through with you. The use case is going to be a Binance sample. So we're going to run through the Binance configuration. So we're going to head over back to the tracker folder where we extracted Daisy scripts here. And we've got the account data.json file. Now, how do we open this? It actually can be opened with Notepad. I'll show you. I've double clicked, I've hit Notepad here, hit OK. It's not the best experience, Notepad. Something I prefer to use is Sublime. You can run over to Google right now, grab this. It's a fantastic little multi-tab editor. It's really, really good. I'm just going to give these guys a plug. So we'll download that. We'll use that for editing for JSON files today. JSON structure is a JavaScript object notation. It's essentially just a very lightweight, simplified structure for storing configuration and other data in a nice structured way. And that's what we will be editing today to do this. So I'm just installing Sublime right now. Add that to Explorer context menu, install. Again, don't need to do this. You can use Notepad. I just prefer this. Now we can right click account data.json, hit open with Sublime text. All right, that's firing up. Okay. All right, so there we go. So we're seeing the same structure as what we saw before, but it's a better editor and you're looking like a hacker, so why not? All right, so we have the key, the secret. All right, so with this up now, we are going to start configuring this. So how do we do this? What do all these fields mean? Let's take a look. So we're going to keep Daisy's guide up. We're going to actually pin that over to the left-hand side, and then we're going to pin Sublime over here to the right-hand side, and we're going to start configuring this. So let's have a look at the field. So we have something called a number here. Number is just, as said here, an arbitrary number of your accounts. So number 1, 2, 3. We are just going to set up one account in this example. So we're going to delete all the others. So make sure you delete from the comma down. So again, this is sort of a very highly structured format. So if you're leaving extra characters in here, commas where there shouldn't be commas, you can run into trouble. Now let's have a look. Exchange is going to be Binance. Name, we're going to give it a simple name to refer back to later on. So we're going to call this test in our case here. Now, key and secret, this is your Binance API key and secret. I'm not going to fill it in here for this example, but you go ahead and place in your key and your secret to connect to your Binance Futures API. Symbol leave blank. We're working with a USDT account, so we don't need to fill that in. Start. The start is essentially when you want your data being pulled from. This is typically when you created the account, or perhaps your account history is all up and down until a certain date. You just want to track from a certain date. You can configure it here. For this example, so it runs pretty quick, I'm just going to set a fairly recent date of last month from creating this video. So the 20th of last month. It needs to be put into a year-month-day format. That's very important, and make sure enabled is true. All right, so we can see here in Sublime that little dot saying that we haven't saved it. I'm just going to go ahead and hit File, Save. Done. Minimize. We're good there. All right, so now we have another configuration file to do. That is the Daisy import side of things. Now we need to set up the bot to actually know how to read from that data source that we have set up. So we're going to right-click accounts.json here and go open with Sublime. We're going to come back to our guide, make sure I haven't jumped ahead too much or we're keeping things in line. We've obviously got the tracker. We've set up the import data script. We haven't run it just yet. And we are now up to the editing of the files here. So we're now going to go on to this editing the JSON for the accounts JSON. So the import is the account data.json. the bot's configuration of the bot program is accounts.json. Just be aware of that. It looks fairly similar, but because they're two different applications in a way that run in synchronization with each other, they need to be configured in separate files. So again, we're just working with one account. You might notice these square brackets here and then these squiggly sets of squiggly brackets. I should say that these square brackets represent that you have a list of something. So there's a list of many here. Again, we're going to go from the comma, we're going to highlight down, delete those, and just make sure we have the one account configured in this example. So the bot is set up with a plugin, which is the database plugin for Daisy's import script. Essentially here, the account is how you would like the label to show on the web page of the P&L tracker. That's just a friendly label. It can be anything you'd like. You can enable or disable an account here. We're going to leave that on. Don't really mess with anything here unless you have configured your database where Daisy's data export is exported to a different location. Then you can fiddle with that, but otherwise leave that alone and leave that alone. The only thing we want to change here is that account name. If you remember in the account data.json, we set the name up as test. Okay, so this should just be really a single phrase. It could use hyphens if you like. Just keep it very simple because it needs to match what is written here. So here we're going to write test. There we go. All right, the rest we're not going to touch for now. Minimize that. Okay, that is the configuration done. So let's start running some stuff. So we're going to hit start. We're going to type PowerShell. We're going to right click the blue one here, Windows PowerShell, and go run as administrator and bring that over here. Okay, so now we have to run Daisy's import script. So if we go up to bots tracker here, the easiest way to change directories in PowerShell to run a script is by right clicking anywhere up here and go copy address as text. Come here, we're going to type CD for change directory, and then press Control V for paste, enter. All right, so C drive bots tracker. We're now in the same location and we can run this guy here, account data.ps1. Start typing account data, press tab again, press enter. Okay, I messed that up. I put a backslash, so I press the up arrow, back again, press enter. Okay, we are still getting an error. So the error actually talks about the fact that the PowerShell script, this little program here, is not digitally signed, meaning essentially, we downloaded a script from the internet. Windows has no idea what the script is or if you're running it or some sort of malware is executing this script. So it's attempting to protect you from running this. So fortunately, I have something that I've prepared earlier, which is how to get past that. And it is this command here, which I'm going to give to you guys. Now, this will allow us essentially to bypass scripts from being digitally signed. Now, this would do this for any script you run on your machine, so use it with caution. I feel you should do some research yourself to make sure you understand what this does, because obviously this does open you up to any script being able to run. If a script managed to run and it is a undigitally signed script and it is malware, then you could get into trouble. So you can run this here. We're going to go yes to all. There is a way to, I believe, digitally sign just a script. That way only that script has permission to run, but that'll be a research point you'll have to do on Google there. Okay, so we have set the new execution policy to run that. Press the up arrow, press it again, press enter. Now that script is able to run. All right, so it's crunching away, looking at that account. It's looking at some packages it needs to download in order to run the script. So it needs to go fetch something from the internet. That's safe to do. Press Y for yes, enter. There'll be another prompt in a minute. We have to install that one as well. Should be just about ready to go. Yes, again. All right, I just cleared the screen and reran my script because I had to pop in my API key and secret in there so I could actually download data. So you can see that's fetching now. Yours should be doing the same. This process may look like it's stalled, but it is running. It just takes a while to analyze your account and download data. Again, I've only set this to download about 7 days worth of data, so it will be quite quick. This could take anywhere up to 5 minutes, 10 minutes, even maybe 20 minutes or more, depending on the life of your account. It may have a lot to download. It has to download it day by day, and it can be quite slow initially. Once it has downloaded everything and synchronized the data into its local database, subsequent runs of this script is very fast. So you can see mine's completed now. It's now sleeping 10 minutes. When this timer has completed, then it's going to automatically run again and re-import data. So that keeps your P&L tracking running all the time in synchronization. Okay, we're going to minimize that guy now because we're finished with that. We can leave that running in the background. And now we can actually look at running the tracker and bringing up that data that we have analyzed. Okay, so it is from here just a matter of actually double clicking P&L Tracker. We've set up all the configs, so let's give it a whirl. Okay, so Windows is trying to protect me again on this VPS server I'm actually running. It's got some enhanced security. You may or may not receive this. If you do, just hit more info, hit run anyway. I think you can hit right-click properties on the file and actually stop this from coming up permanently. This indicates it's running. It has opened up a web server on port 5000. You can highlight this here. I think it's Control C to take a copy, so we don't need to retype that. Click a new tab and let's paste that in, hit enter and see if we get any love here. Yes, we do. All right, so it's pulled down my data for the sample account. We can see here, it's gone and analyzed my results from, this is something running from yesterday. So 30th, 29th and backwards here. We can see it's pulled down the balance. Today's profit, again, hasn't been running today. Yesterday's profit, this time. So this time and yesterday's profit, essentially this particular time for me, it's 1:55 p.m. That was the profit that you made up until 1:55 p.m. And this is the entire day. We also reveal the daily return, the current, the 3-day rolling, and your average. These can be turned on and off if you don't want to see particular data. If you are looking to share these results with the community at all and not wanting to reveal any dollar balances, you just hit toggle P&L and you can do that. So yeah, I hope you enjoy that. We've also got something I want to talk about in the troubleshooting, which I'll just quickly make a mention of here. You may see sometimes this cumulative percent showing 0 like it does in that tooltip. I'm going to refresh the screen to show you. All right, so this green line here, you can see it's flatline. So what does that mean? Obviously, cumulative percent is the gains that you have made cumulatively since starting your account. So this should have a number greater than 0, or if you've taken a loss, minus. So at the moment, we have not been able to determine your balance correctly. So there is a guide on this. It is fairly straightforward. It can be a bit daunting on how to get it going at first, but it's one calculation and then it will get going. Unreal. All right, guys, so that's covered the P&L Tracker installation. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it brings you value. Love to hear feedback, any requests or features that you'd love to see in the app. Please let me know. I've got an update dropping very soon. It's bringing Discord notifications. It might even be in there by the time I publish this video to you guys. If you like what you see, just hit up my GitHub page, Darkshare, Crypto PNL Tracker. I've got some addresses at the bottom if you love what you see, and looking forward to hearing from you guys and seeing those profits. All right, keep it real, guys. See you later.